about a powerhouse documentary. What this couldn't be a better time for not just in LA but throughout the country for this documentary to take shape. What was the process like in bringing this together? Because this was not an easy task.
It was very challenging, but we felt that this story that Tom Bradley brought to us about race, about coalitions, about police brutality and police reform was a story that absolutely had to be told. And we felt very strongly that we're in LA and the story of Tom Bradley was little known by people who, didn't go through that time period. So it was a challenge. It's always a challenge to make documentaries that have to do with subjects of this kind of importance. And it was and it's a story that's very uplifting at the same time. So it was very, and that's always, sometimes the challenge of making a film like that as well.
And Debbie, you talk about the process of all of this. Oh my God, this was a 6-year journey for Lynn and I. And it was off and on in production. We, in the end, filmed 2 50-hour HD interviews. About 40 of those characters are in the film. We did an incredible amount of original research. We went to and worked closely with about 75 archives, collections, universities. We did 135 interviews that were just pre-interviews in order to just kind of put the story together and frame an arc of the story. And it was really difficult for us, and it was a great big challenge because there is not one scholarly biography on Tom Bradley. And even more surprisingly than that, the young people were not being taught his legacy in our schools. So we want to be able to bring this film to the masses, but also to the youth, because those are our next leaders. And they will walk away watching this film knowing what it's like to be a leader and how to be a great leader.
Now, part of the premiere presentation of the film is you're having the panel afterwards to talk about, policing in the community relations. How important is that as part and parcel to the package of this documentary?
Well, the issues that the documentary raises are issues that we need to be able to talk about. And the fact that policing and race and police are such important issues now that we could learn something from what Tom Bradley faced, what the city faced during the years that he was mayor, and what the challenges are and how LA changed since that time. Because many of the problems, certainly the policing in LA the issues are not solved, but we finally have civilian control over the police. And community policing is more of a reality than it ever was before. And when we look at stories of what happens around the country, from Ferguson to Baltimore, there's other issues, we're looking at many of these same issues were faced by Tom Bradley, in the 70s and the 80s and through the 90s. And we can learn on what was done and what needs to be done now.
And Tom Bradley handled the issues, unlike what's happening today.
And he was a mayor whose legacy was framed between two of the biggest riots, of our time, starting with Watts and then going through the Rodney King civil unrest. And that shaped him, and that shapes and frames our story.
Ladies, congratulations. This is, because I've seen it. David.
You probably saw a temp version though, because
yeah.
we just finished our
Yeah.
2 hours ago.
Yeah, David sent me a link for it the other day, and it is a temp. So I'm looking forward to see. I waited to do any kind of review on it because I want to see the final on yours.
The score is tremendous. So when you see it this time, it's really great.
You know what we're really hoping, because every filmmaker, they love their craft and they have a passion for the story. Obviously, you have to have that, especially documentary filmmakers, right? Because we sacrifice so much. We sacrifice personally as well in order to get the story done and told. But kind of one of our biggest goals too, and Lynn and I from the very beginning really wanted to promote racial and ethnic diversity, racial and ethnic tolerance. promote community building and coalition building. And I think that's really important to be able to convey that, and we do explore that, in the film, and really kind of illuminate the issue of race. So it goes beyond, our film goes beyond just the examination of racial politics, but really goes and explores the history of LA in the spine of Tom Bradley's story.
Ladies, congratulations. This is Sunday. It's Sunday. I'm going to try. I'm going to try and come because I really want to see the panel discussion. So enjoy the festival. Thank you for
watching the film. We appreciate that.
Thank you for making this one, because this is an important film.
I think so too.
Thank you.